Hi, I'm Dr. Leonard Brooks. As a physician, one of the things that genuinely concerns me, and honestly breaks my heart a little, is watching my patients, especially older adults, remove one of the most nutritious, complete, and affordable foods in existence from their lives out of pure fear. I'm talking about eggs. You've spent decades hearing that they raise your cholesterol, that they're dangerous for your heart, that they're a fat bomb waiting to go off. And on top of that, I'm now hearing something new in my office. Patients are afraid that eggs will spike their blood sugar. But what if I told you that the real threat to your blood sugar is not the egg you took off your plate? What if the actual reason your glucose stays sky high, the reason you crash before mid-morning and live with constant cravings, is that breakfast you consider healthy? Yes, I'm talking about that bowl of oatmeal with fruit, that whole wheat toast with sugar-free jam, or that innocent glass of freshly squeezed orange juice you think is doing you a favor. Stay with me, because today we're not just going to debunk every one of those myths with science and logic, for good. I'm going to show you, step by step, the exact way my patients with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes prepare and combine eggs to keep their blood sugar completely stable, not for 1 hour, for the entire morning. What you're about to discover in the next few minutes can change your breakfasts, your energy levels, and your glucose numbers starting tomorrow. I want you to picture a scene I see over and over again in my practice. A patient walks in. Let's call him Robert, 68 years old, diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He's frustrated. He's exhausted. He tells me, "Doctor, I don't get it. I do everything they tell me." Every morning I make my diabetic breakfast, a bowl of plain oatmeal with water, half a banana sliced on top, and a glass of fresh orange juice because vitamin C is good for you, right? And still, an hour later I check my blood sugar and it reads 210, sometimes 220. I'm wiped out before the day even starts. And by 10 in the morning, doctor, I have this overwhelming hunger, a craving for something sweet that I just can't fight. What am I doing wrong? Robert's story is the story of millions of Americans. Maybe it's yours. That frustration of putting in the effort, following the rules you were given years ago, and seeing zero results, feeling like your own body is working against you. When I asked Robert what he used to eat for breakfast, he said, "Well, I used to have 2 scrambled eggs every morning, but when I got diagnosed, my old doctor told me to stop because of the cholesterol. Now I barely eat them, and when I do, I feel guilty about it." Robert's problem is not a lack of willpower, it's a lack of correct, up-to-date information. His breakfast, which looks perfectly healthy on the surface, is actually a carbohydrate bomb that absorbs into his bloodstream fast, with almost no protein or fat to slow it down. The oatmeal, even if it's rolled oats, converts to glucose. The banana is sugar, and the orange juice, even freshly squeezed, is essentially flavored sugar water, with the fiber removed, the one thing that would slow absorption. His body receives a flood of sugar all at once. His pancreas is forced to dump out a huge load of insulin, and then, through a rebound effect, his blood sugar crashes, which triggers that ravenous hunger and those sweet cravings. It's a vicious cycle that exhausts your pancreas and keeps you chained to the disease. And meanwhile, the food that could break that cycle, the one that would give him satiety, steady energy, and blood sugar stability, has been unfairly banished from his plate. The egg. Now I want you to set aside everything you've been told about eggs. Forget the cholesterol fear and the outdated warnings for just a moment. Look at the egg for what it truly is, a nearly perfect capsule of nutrition. One single egg contains about 6 grams of the highest quality protein, with all the essential amino acids your body needs to repair itself, build, and maintain muscle, which matters at every age, and keep you feeling full. It contains vitamins D, A, E, K, and the entire B complex, including B12, which is critical for your brain and your nervous system. It has choline, a key nutrient for brain and liver health. And here's the most important part for you specifically. How many carbohydrates does an egg have? Less than 1 gram, essentially 0. And its glycemic index, the measure of how quickly a food raises blood sugar on a scale of 0 to 100, is 0. Eating an egg by itself will not move the needle on your glucometer even slightly. For your metabolism, it is a completely neutral food when it comes to blood sugar. So why on earth have we allowed something this perfect for glucose control to be treated like the enemy? The answer lives in one of the most damaging myths in the history of nutrition. Myth 1. Eggs raise my cholesterol and damage my heart. This is the big one. Yes, the yolk contains cholesterol, about 186 milligrams, and for decades, dietary guidelines told us to limit cholesterol from food. It seemed logical. Eat cholesterol, your blood cholesterol goes up. But the science has shown us that logic was far too simple and largely wrong. Think of your body as an intelligent cholesterol factory. About 80% of the cholesterol in your blood doesn't come from food. It's manufactured by your liver because cholesterol is absolutely essential to life. It's part of every cell membrane. It's the raw material for vital hormones. It's critical for producing vitamin D. When you eat cholesterol, like the kind in an egg, your liver simply dials back its own production to maintain balance. For the vast majority of people, roughly 70%, dietary cholesterol barely moves their blood cholesterol levels at all. The most current science doesn't just support this, it goes further. Today we know that the real villains for your heart are chronic inflammation, excess sugar, and above all, trans fats and excessive poor-quality saturated fats, which genuinely do push your liver to produce more LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol. In fact, a major study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes who ate up to 12 eggs per week as part of an overall healthy diet showed no negative effect on LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, or inflammatory markers after a full year. Some studies even suggest the nutrients in eggs may have anti-inflammatory effects that could actually protect your heart. So the fear around egg cholesterol is based on outdated science. It is time to let it go. Myth 2. Eggs spike my blood sugar. This one is even easier to dismantle. As I just explained, the glycemic index of an egg is 0. It contains virtually no carbohydrates that can convert to glucose in your blood. It is scientifically impossible for an egg by itself to raise your blood sugar. So where does the confusion come from? It comes from what surrounds the egg. If you're eating scrambled eggs with 2 slices of white toast, a glass of OJ, and some hash browns, yes, your blood sugar is going to spike. But the egg is not the culprit. The toast, the juice, and the potatoes are. The egg is literally the only innocent party on that plate. In fact, the protein and healthy fat in the egg do exactly the opposite of what you fear. They slow digestion and the absorption of any carbohydrates eaten alongside them. They act as a metabolic brake. If instead of white toast you pair your eggs with sautéed spinach and avocado, the story is completely different. The egg doesn't just avoid raising your blood sugar, it actively helps you control the blood sugar response of the entire meal. It is your greatest ally on the plate. Now let's get to the most important part. Knowing eggs are good is not enough. You need to know how to eat them to unlock their full power. The secret isn't just the egg, it's the combination and the preparation. The golden rule is simple. Add fiber and healthy fats to your eggs, and remove the fast-absorbing carbohydrates and the inflammatory fats. Let's go through the hard nose first, the foods that sabotage your blood sugar and create the false impression that eggs are the problem. These are the real culprits. White bread, toast, and breakfast cereals, this is public enemy number 1. White bread, bagels, English muffins, and most commercial breakfast breads are made with refined flour, which behaves almost identically to pure sugar in your body. A breakfast of eggs with toast is like pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. It defeats the entire purpose. Fruit juices, even fresh squeezed. I'll say this 1,000 times if I have to. Juice is a bad idea for someone managing blood sugar. When you remove the fiber from fruit, you're left with a glass of liquid sugar that floods your liver and spikes your glucose almost immediately. One whole orange with its fiber is one thing. The juice of 3 oranges is a metabolic disaster. Drink water, unsweetened tea, or black coffee instead. Hash browns and home fries, another high glycemic carbohydrate, almost always cooked in poor quality vegetable oils like sunflower, corn, or soybean oil, which promote inflammation, exactly what you want to avoid. Processed breakfast meats like bacon, sausage links, and deli ham are typically loaded with sodium, preservatives, and poor quality fats that drive up inflammation and blood pressure. Ketchup and sugary sauces, flip over your ketchup bottle and read the label. The second ingredient is usually high fructose corn syrup or sugar. Putting that on your eggs is essentially adding a spoonful of sugar directly to your plate. Now that we've cleared the saboteurs, let's fill the plate with the heroes, the combinations that turn your eggs into a true blood sugar shield. Fiber-rich vegetables, and lots of them. This is the key. Fiber doesn't add sugar, but it forms a gel in your intestines that slows the absorption of everything else you ate. It's the natural emergency brake for your glucose. Spinach and Swiss chard. Sauté a generous handful in the pan with olive oil before you add the eggs. Bell peppers, onion, and mushrooms are the perfect base for an omelet packed with flavor and fiber. Broccoli and cauliflower steamed alongside or grated right into the beaten eggs. Fresh or cooked tomatoes add flavor and antioxidants. Healthy fats, your allies for lasting satiety. Good fat doesn't raise your blood sugar. It keeps you full for hours and eliminates cravings. Avocado is the perfect partner for eggs. Half an avocado on the side gives you healthy monounsaturated fats and additional fiber. This combination alone can keep your glucose stable for 4 to 5 hours. Extra virgin olive oil. Use it to cook over low heat or drizzle it on raw at the end. It's a potent anti-inflammatory agent within the context of a healthy diet. Nuts and seeds. A small handful of walnuts or a tablespoon of chia or ground flaxseed over your eggs adds omega-3 fats and extra fiber. Now, the right cooking methods. Best option, hard-boiled. Zero added fat, completely portable. Boil a batch at the start of the week, and breakfast is done before you even wake up. Second best, poached. Cooked in water, no fat required, and delicious over a bed of spinach. Good option with the right technique. Omelets. This is where most people go wrong. Mistake 1. High heat. Always cook on low to medium low. High heat damages the fats in the egg and the oil. Mistake 2. The wrong oils. Avoid refined seed oils. Use a small amount of extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, or a moderate amount of real butter. The correct technique is simple. Heat the pan on low, add your oil, sauté the vegetables first, then pour in the beaten eggs. That's it. Here are 3 specific meals you can start making tomorrow. Recipe 1. The ironclad blood sugar omelet. Ingredients: 2 or 3 eggs, a large handful of spinach, 4 or 5 mushrooms, a quarter of an onion, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. Instructions: heat the oil on medium-low, sauté the onion and mushrooms until soft. Add the spinach and cook for 1 minute. Pour the beaten eggs over the vegetables, and when nearly set, fold it in half. Serve alongside half a sliced avocado and fresh tomato. Why it works: high-quality protein from the eggs, a massive dose of fiber from the vegetables, and healthy fat from the avocado and olive oil. This meal has a near zero impact on your blood sugar and will keep you satisfied until lunch. Recipe 2. The power scramble. Ingredients: 2 eggs, a splash of unsweetened almond milk, 1 cup of lightly steamed broccoli, 1 ounce of feta or goat cheese, salt, pepper, and red pepper flakes. Instructions: beat the eggs with the almond milk, heat a pan on low with olive oil, add the eggs, and stir slowly. Halfway through, fold in the broccoli and cheese. Continue until cooked to your liking. Serve with a few olives on the side. Why it works: broccoli is a fiber superstar, and goat or feta cheese adds richness and satiety without the inflammatory proteins in processed cheese. This is a genuine blood sugar shield. Recipe 3. The grab-and-go breakfast. Ingredients: 2 hard-boiled eggs, a small handful of walnuts, 1 or 2 celery stalks. Instructions: none. Boil the eggs ahead of time. In the morning, peel them and take everything with you. Why it works: perfect combination of protein from the eggs, healthy fat from the walnuts, and crunchy fiber from the celery. Zero prep time, zero excuses. This will save you from reaching for a bad option when you're running late. I want to issue you a challenge, a personal 1-week experiment. If you're like Robert, if you're eating oatmeal and fruit in the morning and your blood sugar is still out of control, I'm asking you to try one of these breakfasts for just 7 days. Do it like a scientist. Check your glucose before you eat. Check it 1 hour after. Check it 2 hours after. Write down the numbers and write down how you feel. Do you have more energy? Did you make it to lunch without getting hungry? Did the cravings disappear? I promise you will be surprised. You will see the proof on your own glucose meter of everything I've explained today. You will see that the egg was never the villain. It was the hero your body has been waiting for. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Diabetes is not managed through fear or by eliminating nutritious foods because of outdated information. Diabetes is managed through knowledge and through smart, deliberate choices. Today I've given you the strategy for breakfast, the most important meal for taking control of your metabolic health. You've reclaimed a food that is delicious, affordable, and above all, remarkably powerful for your body. You no longer need to be afraid of eggs. It's time to start using them as the tool they truly are. If this information has been helpful to you and has given you a new sense of hope, I want to ask you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because every week I share strategies like this one, grounded in real science, to help you take control of your health. Second, share this video. Think of a friend or family member who, like Robert, lives in fear of eggs and struggles every day with their blood sugar. This video could genuinely change their life. And third, and this matters a great deal to me, go to the comments section right now and tell me, what was your biggest fear about eating eggs, and which of these 3 recipes are you going to try first? I read your comments because your experiences help all of us learn together. Always remember, your health is in your hands, and it starts with what you put on your plate at your very next breakfast. I'm Dr. Leonard Brooks, and I'm here to help you. I'll see you in the next one.